Blessed, beloved child of God, in the book of Genesis, we come to find and realize that God has given authority and dominion to man to rule everything and to govern the earth and everything connected to the earth. And then we later find out that man lost that authority to the enemy, but through Christ we have been redeemed to be like the original Adam as in the Garden of Eden. And so, dear beloved child of God, it is the will of God that you live a life where you are consistently taking territory, living in your authority as a child of God. And remember, what you refuse to take authority and territory over, the enemy will. Every place, every person always has a ruling spirit. And so our job and our responsibilities as believers is to rededicate desolations, broken people back to God, so that God can take territory over those places. But when we are afraid to govern and to operate in our authority, what ends up happening is the enemy sets up camps. And even though we may be nice Christians, but we end up living lives outside of God's authority, outside of God's power, and outside of God's will. Let's change the game. Let's study the word. Let's repent of allowing the enemy to rule and reign in our homes, in our lives, in our children, because we have refused, or we have become complacent and have not taught our kids the word. We have not introduced the Lord to our kids. So when we don't teach our kids about the Lord, somebody else will educate them, and it's usually the education system. And I'm not going to get into details about that, because that on its own is a reason for panic, you know. And so often as believers, we're afraid of taking territory and authority and in dominion, but Christ has given you this authority, you know. And so often we don't want to step up to it. And yet when Jesus Christ comes back, you know, he will also hold us accountable with what did we do with what was entrusted to us. So, dear beloved child of God, in your neighborhood, in your community, in your home, speak Jesus, do Jesus, think Jesus, teach Jesus. Of course, there will be persecution, but we are called to bring the kingdom into desolate places where God is not known. And that's what has been entrusted to us. So let us go there. Let us live in our authority. Let us take territory. Let us irritate the enemy and upset people and shake things up spiritually, you know, and decree and declare to the enemy that not in my house, this place, in my house, my community is set apart for the glory and the move of God. You are not welcome to come and set up camp and ship here. Have a blessed weekend. Sending you all my love, and may God be with you. May you be fruitful, may you multiply, and may you rise in your dominion and authority as God has called you to. Because Jesus is not going to come down and do it. He's entrusting us to do it, because we are carrying Jesus. We are the light of the world. And when we are in slumber, we allow the enemy to just take over and run rampant. Blessed, beloved child of God. Love you so much. Cheers. Bye.